Hi everyone, this is Gloria at stampwithgloria.com. I am back with my number 2 video in my embossing series, still using embossing powders. And I'm going to show you how to create a multicolored image with embossing powders, get the look that you want. We're going to use the Fine Feathers set. I'm going to use the peacock feather out of the set here, and we'll be using various embossing powders. This is the second video in my series. I'm just building on some of the techniques that I showed you in the first video. I wanted to make kind of an exotic looking card for my friend Felicia. She's very exotic looking. She's a beautiful lady, dark hair, dark eyes. She's just gorgeous. And so I wanted to make something really pretty. Sure, you know, she'll see this video too, so she'll see how all of this comes together. And I'm going to do it twice so that you get the idea. And we're going to start out with our peacock feather. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh, peacock feathers are these brilliant blues and greens, and you know, they've got, you know, the shimmer to it, they've got the red in it, the blue. So how do I get that effect? How do I get all of these colors in this one image? So what I'm going to use is the Bermuda Bay stamp pad. And you know, the stamp pads with Stampin' Up, they're a foam pad, and they're designed so that you can stamp an image or you can emboss with an image. It did away with our craft pads that we had for years. So it's kind of like a twofer, which is a neat product that we have now. So I'm just going to ink it up, and I'm going to stamp one of the feathers down on this piece of paper, and you see it's all one color right now. I'm going to start with the green because I like the green a lot, and I'm just going to tap it on in different areas of the feather here. Okay, so there it is, and I use gumball, or excuse me, I think this is, no, this is Wild Wasabi embossing powder that we have in the catalog. And I'm going to pour it right back, tap it right back into the jar. So now we've got our feather here yet. It needs more color. So now I'm going to cover the whole image just in the blue. Okay, now there's green on there and now there's blue. Okay, but you want to cover the whole image because you need the rest of it covered, and you can't like tap it out, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, so that you get the areas that weren't covered the first time. So you're just going to cover the whole image with that. Then how am I going to get this inside image red and blue? Okay, that's super easy. I'm going to take a two-way glue pen. There's a lot of different ways to use this glue pen. You can emboss with it. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to emboss with it today on this card. But basically, embossing powder needs something to stick to, right? So glue can do that. You can stick embossing powder to glue, right? So I'm going to take this two-way glue pen, and I'm going to put some down there, and then we want that red on there. The red, the eyeball. Make the eyeball red. So we're going to tap that color on. Tap it right into the jar. Boop, 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 boop. Then I didn't color in the entire middle because I want that middle part to be that brilliant blue. So in the first video I talked about translucent versus opaque embossing powders, and I showed you how to use the different ones. So we've used all opaque now, so it's going to cover up that color that we originally started with, which was the Coastal Cabana. Now I want the middle blue, so I'm going to take a blender pen, I'm going to pick up some color, and I'm going to make it blue on the inside of this feather. Okay, now you could leave it this way, but I wanted the feather to be uniform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the translucent. It'll stay that color blue because it's translucent, so the color below it's going to shine through. Plus, I want a little glitz on the feathers because peacock feathers are kind of metallic looking. They're real pretty looking. And I use the Pacific Point as the blue, Pacific Point color as the blue in the inside of the feather. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to heat that up with the embossing gun real quick. And you see how that works. Taking a while to heat up here. There we go. Finally caught. See how that pretty blue? Then the red catches, and then the blue and green from the feather. See how the green's popping? I'll make the next feather a little more green, not so blue. There we go. So I don't know if you can see with the camera, but if I, flip it to the side, you can see there's a little sparkly going on. And then this is all a raised surface. All that color is raised. Okay, we're going to do it one more time, in case I went too fast the first time, just to show you. Okay, now, people always wonder if you can stamp on top of an image that you've already embossed. You can. Okay, so I've just stamped right over the top of that leaf. And we're going to put a little more green in this feather so that it kind of pops compared to the other feather. And boop, 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 boop. There we go. We've got the green going on there. Now we're going to cover it with the blue. Remember, we cover the whole image with the blue so we get the spaces that were not covered with the green. There we go. This paper is getting to be a little bit. Roll that out. Okay, now we're going to do the inside. We're going to take the two-way glue pen and put the glue wherever we want the embossing powder to stick. And we'll plop some color on there. There we go. And tap it off. And we got that middle going on there. So we're going to take the blender pen again, pull the color off of our stamp pad, and color in where we want the blue. And then we're going to take the translucent, or this is the iridescent ice embossing powder. Tap that back in, and then we'll emboss that up, and that'll be ready to go. Oops. Suppose I can pull it into the camera so you can see. It'll catch. There we go. Starting to catch now. See, everything's popping up now. So remember, the stamp pad we used to stamp down was green, right? Or no, excuse me, blue. Coastal Cabana. Close to the turquoise color. It's a little more green. Okay, we've got that all embossed up. So now you see we've got like a really cool looking, collection of feathers. And now I'm going to show you another technique with the two-way glue pen. So I want to put a border on this before I put it together into a card. So I'm just going to take a metal ruler and give myself an edge. And I've got the two-way glue stick, and I'm going to pull the glue stick along the edge of the card. And we'll go down a ways. I'm going to cut this off anyway for the card, but we'll just do it this way for now. And then I'm going to take the silver embossing powder, which is another opaque powder. We only have a couple translucent powders in the line. We've got the iridescent ice and the clear. The rest are opaque. They're going to cover, anything that you use underneath to emboss with. But then look at this. So we've got that silver embossing powder. Now I'm going to emboss this, and it gives this really neat kind of looking foil edge to the card. There you go. So we got this cool foil edge on it. We're going to do it on the other side. Do it twice so that you can see how that works. Okay, this is the second side here. And see, it kind of pops up. It looks like foil. It just is such a cool technique. All done with embossing powders. Good. My first video, I said I was an original, and some of my friends like that. So I'm going to continue with that theme. I am an original Stampin' Up! Stamper. Been around for 23 years. Everything that I'm demoing here, you can buy on my website, or go to stampwithgloria.com. That's my blog. You can see things that I've made. You'll see all the supplies to make this particular card as well. After 23 years, I'm still pretty pretty into this Stampin' stuff. I never get sick of it. I love to create with it. Okay, here we go. Here's the other side. Isn't that just the coolest technique? Okay, I am going to cut this up. I'll show you what the finished card looks like. This is our trimmer. And I just want to trim off just a little bit of this edge because I didn't quite get to the edge with the feathers, so I wanted to make sure that's done right. And then we'll tuck this in here. Good. Cut that off. All right. So now, when you're watching my videos, you're going to see that most of the time I will make cards that don't have any sentiment on them at all, because I like to make cards that you can just pick out of your box and say, oh, well, that looks like a birthday card for my friend, or that looks like this. So I put the sentiments on later. It makes for a lot less wasting of your cardstock and your cards. And Stampin' Up! Comes out with different sayings all the time. So something you might have liked one year on a card, you might like a lot more on another year. So just a basic band of cherry cobbler and the Pacific Point blue, and our feathers are on. And there is our second video of embossing. I hope you liked it. Come back again, check me out. You'll be able to see more videos coming in the next couple of weeks. Thank you.